You wouldn't understand because you're not family. Let's talk about it.
The Rock says, The Rock says,
Before we get into the video, we need to have a talk. You see this number? 96%. 96% of you are watching videos and you're not subscribed. Do you have any idea what that looks like? It looks like you're watching the from outside in the bushes. Don't be a creep. Pull up a seat, and as long as you got positive vibes, you are welcome to join the Flash family. It's all love over here. It's obviously you're supposed to be joining the family, right? That's why you keep on coming back, and that's why you keep seeing us in your algorithm. We're calling you. The universe is aligning. So go ahead and smack the like button, electrify the subscribe button, and join the family. Now, back to the video. Monday Night Raw came to you live from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Now, this was a taped episode, okay? So let's take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt. This felt like it was supposed to be 3 hours, and they just kind of forgot. Now, not everything on this episode was bad. There were a couple key moments, but I feel like we're starting to get into that point that we were really for the past 4 years, where the Bloodline is the best thing going to WWE, and subsequently, it's the only thing going on in WWE. Jimmy goes into this whole diatribe about how Solo and his new bloodline, they not the ones. Jay stops him right there. And he's like, yo, we not the ones either. Don't think that everything is straight. All right? The last time I saw you, we were fighting at WrestleMania. And you think that just because Roman's back and Solo's a problem, that we just cool now? Listen, they know us now. But they know us as individuals. We not just the twins no more. I'm main event Jay Uso, and you're Jimmy Uso. So we're gonna do this thing together. We ain't no do boys. It ain't no hierarchy here. It's me, it's you, and it's Roman. Can we agree on that? This is what I felt like this story was missing. There was no emotional. I felt no emotion from it. Jimmy kind of came back and he kind of gave a little bit of it. He was that voice of reason to Roman to like wake him up and be like, hey, bro, listen, I don't know if you forgot, but you ain't God mode no more. You're vulnerable. And now Jay is being the voice of reason telling Jimmy, hey, it's a lot of work we got to get back to this. We got a lot of therapy to go through before we just trade again. But understand, we're going to have to discipline little bro. Because this new bloodline, they a problem. And we can't have this. One thing I don't play about is family. And so Jimmy and Jay, they make up again, and out comes the new bloodline. Right on cue. What I love about this segment is that Jacob is so committed to this character that he will not act unless told to by Solo Sikoa. We never really get to see Solo tell the Tongans to go and attack anyone. But whenever you see them go do that, Solo is always right next to Jacob in the wise man pose, which makes me, is Jacob the enforcer and the wise man? Because no one ever really did this to Roman except for Paul. Just a side question for later down the road. But Solo tells Jacob to go in. He goes in. He knocks out he knocks out Jimmy. He takes a steel chair, put it around Jay's neck. He's about to take out Jay the exact same way Solo took out Jimmy. But Usos get the comeback. They super kick, and they reign supreme. Everyone thought Roman was going to come out, but Roman didn't. And this is furthering the setup for the crown jewel match of Roman and the Usos taking on what I believe to be Solo, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu coming this Saturday. Now, there were beats of this bloodline story throughout the show, and we'll kind of touch on them as we get there. But let's move on. Next up, we have the finals for the World Tag Team Championship Tournament. The War Raiders taking on LWO and the New Day. Now, all of these teams have their own, here's this word again, emotional beats in this match, specifically the New Day and the LWO. If you remember, Xavier kind of got into this whole semi-turning heel run when he accidentally took off Rey Mysterio's mask and caused him to pick up the win on Rey. The crowd's been booing him ever since, and Xavier's kind of justified in his saying that, well, I'm just trying to win a match. It's not my fault that a Lucha Libre legend, say that 5 times fast, isn't able to tie his mask securely in a match. It comes off during a snapmare, and I'm going to go for the win. I'm trying to win a wrestling match. Why are you so mad at me? Perfect heel work, perfect justifiable villainy. I love it. And so throughout this match, it almost seemed like Xavier was more focused on whatever member of the LWO was in the ring, specifically Rey, than any member of the War Raiders. So much so that they were about to pick up the win, and in the middle of hitting daylight, Xavier gets off the top turnbuckle, runs, and tries to attack Rey on the outside. Rey steps out of the way and takes out Xavier, and that wipes them completely out, leaving Kofi by himself to get completely taken out by the War Raiders, and your War Raiders win the match. They're just slow burning this heel turn, and I don't like it. I don't know. I don't want to see the New Day break up. I feel like there should be a tag team that's never broken up, because especially with the New Day, because they've already had single success. There's nothing they really haven't done except for maybe a Royal Rumble win and a Money in the Bank win. Of course, Xavier has never won singles gold, but he won King of the Ring, and that was the number one thing that he wanted. So with Kofi winning the WWE Championship and Big E win the WWE Championship, unless Xavier is going to win the Intercontinental belt or the World Heavyweight Championship, doubtedly, what would be the purpose of them breaking up? I mean, Xavier is not hurting for compensation. He's deeply involved with things behind the scene and the marketing of WWE. Kofi's a sure ballot Hall of Famer, and Big E's doing everything on commentary for the pre and post shows for the PLE. So why do we need them to break up? But I digress. We all pretty much know how I feel about that situation. What I like here is this new packaging of the War Raiders. This is what we needed. This is the War Raiders from NXT. This was the dominant tag team that showed up and just destroyed everybody and had those clashes with the Undisputed Era. This is what we needed from the War Raiders, and I am extremely confident that they're going to be the ones to take out the Judgment Day and become your new World Tag Team Champions. So next up, we got a promo with Rhea Ripley, who is basically kind of talking about how, Raquel, I'm going to beat you. Liv, I'm going to destroy you. I want my championship back, yada, yada, yada. Cool, whatever. It's pretty much the same thing that was cut last week. Again, this was a tape show, so I'm guessing Rhea was already in Saudi Arabia when all this was happening. The next promo, or I should say vignette, was from Gunther. Now, for me, for a go-home episode, your main push here has been this Crown Jewel Championship, right? So why is it that Gunther was on again, taped, I know, but why would you have Gunther show up on SmackDown to confront Cody when he just does a vignette for your go-home show of Raw? He's the champion of Raw. So if Gunther can go to SmackDown and confront Cody, why couldn't Cody come back to Raw and they do something else together? I don't know. I mean, I know he's done it already. They already had their in-ring conversation, but I don't know. This show just, I don't know. It had holes in it. You know what I mean? And I feel like with them trying to push Crown Jewel the way that they are, I would be trying to logistically, of course, get as much as I can out of these shows leading up to it, taped or not. So next we have the next segment from the Bloodline. Jimmy and Jay are walking backstage, and they walk into Sami Zayn. Obviously, Jay and Sami, they embrace, but you kind of see there's still some tension between Sami and Jimmy, rightfully so. And Sammy's like, listen, Jay, we need to talk alone. So Jimmy obliges and he walks off. And he's telling Jay, or asking Jay rather, pretty much what I've been saying this whole time. Like, you just gonna, that's it? You just back with your brother. It's just, everything sweet. Everything water up under the bridge and everything cool. Is this what we doing? Jay's like, listen, you don't get it. And Jay and Sammy's like, yeah, you're right, I don't get it. After everything that he put you through, yeah, Solo is bad. Very bad. But Solo ain't the one that had you jumping through hurdles just to prove that you were worthy to be in your own family. He wasn't the one that was manipulated you. That was Roman. The same guy that you're talking about, you're going to go forgive and team up with. Why is everyone okay with this guy? Thank you, Sami. So Jay hits him with probably, Usos have really been cooking the last month or so. But Jay hits him with one of the coldest lines in this Bloodline saga and says, you won't understand, Us, because you're not family. That stings because, true, but Sami is one of the original members of the full-powered Bloodline led by Roman Reigns. With that type of line being delivered, I am interested to see how are they going to get Sami to join them for War Games. So next, we've got what I believe a Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders match. I think this is like setting up for a future, like going up the ladder of the mid card. I don't know, but it was Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser, and they mentioned the Intercontinental Championship a few times, so I would imagine that would come into play here somewhere. This is a banger. Again, Ludwig Kaiser is very underrated in his character work during matches. He's a very solid wrestler, and he has a look to be an incredible heel. I just don't know how you get him out of the shadow of Gunther, or at least build him up to be a stronger presence alongside Gunther. Because right now the Star of Imperium is just Gunther. And Ludwig Kaiser is very, very good with holding a microphone, catching a jacket, and saying Gunther's name. We got to do more with the guy. Sheamus is, I think anytime you bring up the Intercontinental Championship and Sheamus in the same sentence, you're going to automatically pull for him. That's the only championship he hasn't won. And someone actually left a comment, I think it was on my TikTok. If you haven't followed us on TikTok yet, make sure you jump over there after this video and make that pop. You know what I'm saying? Flash Pro Wrestling. We're going to be on X real soon, so make sure you be on the lookout for that. But I don't know, Sheamus needs that Intercontinental Championship title, and someone made a comment that it's going to be Sheamus versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. #1, yes. #2, Sheamus needs to win that. I don't care if he has a long title run. I just need Sheamus to be a Grand Slam champion. He's been in WWE for what, 15 years. If you're going to give Jey Uso the championship, you got to. Before Sheamus, and Sheamus really actually been fighting for it. He had the match of the night at WrestleMania against Drew and Gunther for that championship. The man done bled, he done bruised, scarred, and you give it to give Sheamus the Intercontinental Championship. Sheamus, 2024. But like I said, this match was an absolute banger. They tend to do this every single time they get into the ring. I'll never get sick of seeing Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. So, yeah, give me more of that. Next up, we got 2 backstage segments. Miz is absolutely terrified because he has the Wyatts on one side and the Final Testament on the other side stalking him. However, he is more afraid of the Final Testament because it's the enemy that he is directly confronted with. He doesn't know where the Wyatts are or when they'll strike. So he would much rather team with the enemy that he can see to take out the enemy that he can't. Of course, Kyrian also did tell Miz that if he doesn't help him find Bo Dallas tonight, keep in mind I said tonight, that he was going to break his legs. And if you follow Karrion Kross on social media, you've seen him break 2 bats with his legs. So, you know, I really don't mind. I really don't even judge or blame, I should say, Miz, because, I mean, Karrion making direct threats here. And what's funny is Miz actually tries to go back and get things right with R-Truth, and R-Truth just smacks him to the ground and was like, hey, good luck with the Wyatts. Y'all finna die. Next, we have the final Bloodline segment. Jimmy, he tells Jay that, hey, yo, I'm gonna go talk to Sami and get everything worked out. I ain't gonna jump him. We ain't gonna fight. I'm just gonna talk to him. So he goes out and he's looking for him and he finds him. And for whatever reason, Jay is just on the other side of the hallway because they're leaving. I don't know. Camera work is weird. But they meet up in the parking lot, and right through the between them through the gate, Sami is standing in the parking lot talking to Solo. What does this mean? Now, obviously, I don't think Sami is going to be talking or helping Solo in any kind of way. If anything, he might be going to Solo and saying, hey, listen, leave Jay out of this. But Jay's already involved himself in it. This is family business, so it is what it is. Jimmy sees that. Well, they both see it, and Jimmy's like, listen, I told you, family is all we got, and there's going to be family that's going to have to handle all this. And Jay just answers with, yeet. Actually, I lied. One more backstage segment. I just want to talk about how pumped I am for this Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed match. These guys are magic. They have a segment. Seth comes out and he's pretty much talking about, oh, I'm hunting a monster, and what Bronson doesn't know that I'm a monster. I let that side go a long time ago. I forgot about that side, but Bronson pops up on the Titantron and he's like, hey, listen, if you want to, why wait? If you want smoke, I'm out here in the parking lot. Seth ain't dodging no smoke. So he gets out of the ring. He goes out there. He meets Bronson. Pierce is trying to stop Seth. That ain't happening. They meet up in the parking lot and they going at it. To the point where Seth delivers a stomp on the hood of a car. Now you would think this is it. Ain't nobody gonna get up from a curb stomp onto the hood of a car. But Bronson gets up, throws the security guards all across the parking lot, and they go back at it. So Seth, super kick to Bronson. Bronson is in position for a stomp again. This time over some set up tables with tarps and coverings and stuff on them. They're sitting outside of a tractor trailer. Seth gets into the tractor trailer. Bronson gets up and hurls a trash can directly at Seth. He gets in there with Seth. They're fighting in there. He pushes Seth up against the wall of the trailer, picks him up, runs, Death Belly driver out of the semi-truck and right through all those tables. I am so ready for their match. I don't know if there's going to be a winner, and I don't care anymore. I know I've been saying that Bronson needs to win this match. I don't care. Bronson is in a character mode where he doesn't have to win or lose. He just needs to throw people. I just want to see him throw people at people. Can we get more of that? Please, if he grabs one of the fans in Saudi Arabia and hits Seth with, please do this. Now, let's get into the main event. This was strange because Dirty Dom was basically saying, hey, listen, I'm ready for whatever world champion that you're going to have me face because I'm going to beat Gunther for that world championship. And Pierce is like, listen, I ain't got time for all this. So your opponent is going to be Damian Priest. All right, cool. Now, if you have followed all of this, the Judgment Day, Finn wants Damian Priest again for whatever reason. I don't know. He already beat you. Why do you want to fight him again? And so Dom is like, no, don't worry about it. I know all about Damian. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to fight him. And they go out and they just have a match. The type of match you would expect. You wouldn't expect Dom to really do anything of importance to Damian. Damian would just overpower everything. But, of course, the numbers game get involved, and Judgment Day comes down. Again, Damian's fighting them all off, as he always does. He runs into a distraction. Dom rolls him up, 1, 2, 3, and Dom gets the win. Okay, regular heel type of win. I don't understand that. But normally the heel would escape and run away. But that didn't happen. They just kept fighting. Damian just got him and start literally just destroying him while Liv and Raquel just look on. Carlito tries to get in the ring. He gets hit with the South of Heaven. I don't know where JD McDonough went. And then Damian would just leave and come back, hit another move, Razor's Edge or South of Heaven or whatever. He would leave, come back, grab a chair, wear him out with it, leave, come back, South of Heaven. Where's Finn? I'm literally sitting there watching like, okay, so now Finn's going to come out and stop him. They're going to jump Damian. They're going to close the match with this. Okay. Okay. So now Finn is going to come. No. Okay. So Finn just not here. All right. Cool. So I look down at the time, and that's it. That's the show. Damian is just standing on the top rope, taunting the Judgment. Why? I thought you were done with what? Why was that the main event? It had nothing to do. Listen, if I'm in Hershey, Pennsylvania, I'm pissed. That's the main event. I would have much rather the brawl between Seth and Bronson been the main event than that. What? Or at least the tag team tournament. That would have been cool as the main event. This match felt like it was the top of the second hour of a Monday Night Raw, and that's kind of what they shaped it like. It just felt like they left things undone. Like there should have been more as a go home angle for Crown Jewel. I don't know. It didn't feel, the timing didn't feel paced well. They had segments where they needed to be, I believe, but they just left on a very odd cliffhanger. And keep in mind, Kerrigan told Miz, I need you to help me find Bo Dallas tonight. Well, the show is over. Did he find him? Is that what we're gonna pick up at from next week? I don't know. It's just weird. It didn't hit. But of course, Bloodline saves the day. That's really between Bloodline, War Raiders winning, and the Seth and Bronson segment. That's pretty much what saved this show. The Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser match was good, but we've seen it before. You can put that on any episode of WWE television. It's going to be a good match, but this needed more than just a good or a couple good matches. I don't know. It just didn't feel as cohesive as it needed to be. I would think they would have learned from what SmackDown did, but again, this was a tape. I said this before about 3 times. This was a taped episode. So hopefully when they're live next Monday, we'll get some adjustments here and there because we got to tighten up this whole 2-hour thing. That's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button and the notification bell, and you are notified whenever I post a video. I say this every single video, but the growth has been amazing, and I want to see it continue to grow. I love having conversations with you guys in the comment section. I love seeing you guys' perspectives of how you would book things and how you would do things. If you made it this far in the video, as a matter of fact, comments bitter end. So I know you made it all the way through. And again, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you down the road. And as always, be safe, be blessed, be kind. Peace.
The Rock says,